Women Warriors is a series that investigates the lives of women who forge their own destinies. What's up, warriors? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to check out what else we do here at Combat Life and hit that like and subscribe button. In every culture around the world, you will find women who stood out for their bravery and courage. They are women who went against tradition and did what they believed to be right. So today we are heading to Africa where the story of the powerful Anna Njinga takes place. So let's begin. Once upon a time, there lived a ruthless and powerful leader, and her name was Anna Njinga, queen of the Ndongo and Mantamba kingdom. She was born into the ruling family of Ndongo, modern-day Angola, Africa. Anna had two sisters and a brother who was heir to the throne. It was important to her father that as a child, Anna would receive military and political training, and she excelled in it from an early age. Her father favoured her and trained her to fight alongside him. She participated in many official and governance duties alongside her father, including legal councils, war councils, important rituals, and was also taught to read and write in Portuguese. She demonstrated a talent in diffusing political crises and became a natural at it. The Ndongo people, led by her father, Ngolo Kisamba, began fighting against the Portuguese who raided their territory for enslaved people and attempted to conquer lands that they believed included silver mines. Shortly, a royal order from Lisbon declared that the kingdom of Ndongo be subjected and captured. The Portuguese had already converted Congo, a neighbouring kingdom. They were after black ivory, that is, slaves in Angola. Anna's father distrusted the European expansion and banned missionaries from his kingdom. As Anna grew older, she was considered to be the best politician in her country. While she impressed her father, his strategies angered her brother and created a rift between them. In 1617, Anna's father passed away and her brother came into power. The new king was full of anger and jealousy. He felt paranoid about Anna's son, who was only a baby at the time. He worried that one day Anna's son would plot to have him assassinated. So to be rid of his fear, he ordered for her son to be killed. As if that wasn't enough, he then forced Anna to be sterilised to make sure she would never have children again. Her brother's rule was cruel, unpopular and chaotic. Fearing for her life, she fled to the city of Matamba, where she settled and began to set up a new life. Until one day her brother asked for her to return to be his ambassador to the Portuguese in 1621. After suffering many defeats, he begged for his sister's help. He needed her to negotiate a treaty. She was the best fit for the job as she spoke fluent Portuguese. Heartbroken by the famine and terror that ravaged her own village, she agreed to help him, to keep her people from being enslaved and keep them safe. So she was sent to the Portuguese governor to negotiate a treaty. Ndongo people typically met the Portuguese in Western clothing, but not Anna. She chose to wear the traditional clothing of the Ndongo people. She did this in order to display that their culture was not inferior. When she arrived, there were chairs laid out for everyone, but her. She was given a mat, but she took no notice and ordered one of her soldiers to form himself into a chair. Anna was a fierce negotiator and was able to reach an agreement with the Portuguese, which entailed the withdrawal of the Portuguese troops from Ndongo and the recognition of its sovereignty. She was also able to ensure that Ndongo did not need to pay tributes. She did this successfully by arguing that the kingdom was an independent one, rather than a vassal or conquered state. In return, she agreed to open trade routes to the Portuguese, as well as a promise to study Christianity and become baptized, which she did. The treaty was signed but not honoured, an action which resulted in a war of resistance that lasted more than 40 years. The next part of the story has an added mystery. No one quite knows how Anna came into power, and there are many conflicting answers. Some say that after her negotiations with the Portuguese, she returned home, jailed her brother, and declared herself ruler, while others say she ascended to the throne when her brother died, under what some deem suspicious circumstances. Some accuse her of murdering her brother, but we will never know. In 1623, disappointed by the Portuguese, Anna broke with Christianity and allied herself with the Yaga, a group of powerful warriors that recently arrived from the southern Kwanza River Plitus. She also gave refuge to slaves from Portuguese-controlled territories and induced African soldiers trained by the Portuguese. She did this so they would join her army, promising them land and rewards. By the end of 1624, Anna was slowly gaining military advantage. In 1625, she continued to claim one vessel chief after the other, to rebel against the Portuguese. She was warned that war would be the result if she did not return the soldiers and slaves, but she refused. By now she had increased her forces and gained arms to plunge her kingdom into open warfare. The Portuguese wanted to expel Anna and her followers and replace her with a monarch who would be subservient to their needs and wishes. The Portuguese managed to out her, and this led to the guerrilla war. They were eventually able to force Anna off her throne and replaced her with a puppet ruler, one of her relatives, King Philip. But this wasn't going to stop her. Anna went into exile, but continued to work to convince her followers to destroy the usurper's rule and to expel the Portuguese who kept him in power. In 1629, she consolidated her power as a tembanza, which was a Yaga title reserved for powerful women. They did this by arranging a ritual marriage with the Yaga's chief, the Kanzenji, which was actually a political alliance. She later broke with the Yaga when they allied with the Portuguese and came to pillage her capital. So she then decided to conquer the kingdom of Matamba to the northeast, which was one of the few places that had a history of women ruling. Once in control there, she forged an alliance with the Dutch to help her against the Portuguese. She became the ruler of Matamba in 1630. She also overcame resistance to women in politics, employing refugees and runaway slaves. Over the next few years, she was able to unite the power in the Kimbundu territory of Ndongo and Matamba. Matamba dominated the whole Kimbundu region, and after successfully fighting the Portuguese, she turned on her Dutch allies, defeating them as well. She then made a new alliance with the Portuguese. She did this so she could export slaves she captured in war. In 1656, she signed a peace treaty with the Portuguese governor of Angola and reconverted to Catholicism. So on November the 24th in 1657, the Portuguese decided to give up on their claims to Ndongo, and the wars with Portugal ended. She then attempted to rebuild her nation, which had been seriously damaged from the years of conflict. After numerous efforts to dethrone her, and many attempts by the Portuguese to kill her, she was able to keep the peace and died a peaceful death at the age of 82 on the 17th of December 1663. She died a Catholic, and her deathbed was surrounded by missionary advisors that she came to value in the last 8 years of her life. In the years following her death, Anna became a historical figure in Angola. She is remembered for her intelligence, her politics, her diplomatic wisdom, and her brilliant military tactics. She is one of the most celebrated women to resist the European colonisation. In 2002, a statue of her was placed in Angola, which celebrated the 27 years of independence. So that's it, warriors. That's this week's video. If you enjoyed the video, then why not check out the rest of our Women Warriors series. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you again soon, warriors.